I watch Hello Okanagan wherever I land.
Peter, why don't you tell people how they can get these awesome shirts?
You can get these shirts by clicking the link below.
Hello Okanagan, over here. On this episode, we're at the Kelowna International Airport.
We're going to be meeting with the director, Sam, who's been here for over 25 years, and he had a lot to do with where this airport has gone. And we got an all-access pass, so stay tuned.
Hello Okanagan, welcome back for another episode. This week we are very excited to be in front of the Kelowna International Airport here with Sam. And thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited.
Thank you for being here. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And it's a wonderful day, so we got some natural, beautiful light. So we figured we'd just be outside a little bit, and then we're gonna be taken to some secret locations because we've got some secret passes here. So Sam, the first thing I wanted to ask is, first of all, congratulations, you guys made it to the top 10 airport in Canada. That means busiest, I guess, right? 10 busiest?
Yeah,
Or?
the 2018 and 2019 were the 10th busiest airport in the country,
Awesome.
based on passenger volume.
That's amazing. And what is the history? I mean, I want to know a little bit of when the airport first started, little history about it, and more importantly, when did you guys do your last renovations and what's happening later on?
Well, I mean, Kelowna has a very, very rich history for aviation, and if you look back at 1913, with the Kelowna Regatta, they had Curtiss biplanes that used to take off the lake, and people used to watch airplanes in that period of time. And believe it or not, after that, the 1920s into the early 1940s, the airport was actually in Rutland. So Kelowna International Airport, where it is today, came into effect in 1945. It's its genesis. There was a vote by council of the public, went to plebiscite, and then passed by 6 votes to buy the land, which was a tobacco farm at the time, called Dixon Ranch, to establish the airport. So this airport's been around since really into inception in 1946.
Wow.
Very cool. And how about a little bit of the new restrictions and everything around traveling? What are those starting to look like, and how did that start to affect you guys?
Yeah, I mean, into March, we started to realize that we were going to have some issues, obviously dealing with COVID-19, and so we saw a dramatic fall in traffic. In fact, over a 3-week period of time, we lost about 95% of the traffic that travels through this airport as a consequence of COVID-19. So we're currently seeing a slow return. We're probably doing about 25% of what we normally would do in a given month.
Well, and that obviously, very unfortunate to hear, obviously, the decline in travel and everything, but with restrictions put on by countries and everything, at the same time, it is benefiting us at this current moment that there isn't the crazy amount of traffic that you would normally have. I mean, I can't even count how many times I've flown out of this airport and how busy it is. So I was just saying, as we drove in, it's unbelievable to see the short-term parking, like, only what is this, like 20% occupied right now?
Yes, it's about 20% occupied of what it normally would be. Our long-term lot is probably another 15% of what it normally would be at this time of the year. So it has been eerily quiet over what is normally our busiest period when we get into July and August.
Eerie, that's a good word for it, yeah. Hey Peter, looks like it's that time of the show again.
Yes, right now it's Okanagan Update with our own Elizabeth.
Hello Okanagan, I'm Elizabeth Flowers, and here's your Okanagan Update. The Great Closet Cleanout is back this Sunday, September 27th. From 11 to 3, women can enjoy a flea market style fashion extravaganza shopping at the Ramada parking lot in the back parking lot. The entry fee is $5, and a portion of the proceeds will go to a local charity. Go by Bike Week is back in Penticton. Starting this week, you can ride to work, to school, for fun, or just to do some errands. There's over $1,000 worth of prizes to be won. To register, go to gobybikebc.ca. And starting up in weekends in October, the OK French is back open. The OK French will be welcoming guests every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 4. Go by the ranch, pick a pumpkin, go through the corn maze, or visit their general store. There's so much to do up there. And that's all for your weekly Okanagan update, and now back to the guys.
Now, Sam, before we went over to the break there, we were talking a little bit about how COVID has affected YLW and Kelowna Airport in general. Now, talk to us a little bit about some of the future expansions that you guys had planned, and obviously those have been put on hold and everything, but what can we look to expect in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of YLW?
Yeah, I mean, we have a robust capital plan, and certainly traffic will return. So our really next expansion of this facility is really a full expansion of this building to the south towards the city. That will include the expansion of our departure room, the pre-board screening area, and also the addition of gates for more aircraft capacity. So over the 10 years that you'll see that develop as we head towards 2.5 and 3 million passengers through this facility.
Will we start to see potentially some maybe over the ocean travel from transocean? How do you call that? Transocean travel from Kelowna?
I mean, prior to COVID, we had direct flights into Cuba, for example,
Really?
Out of here over the winter months.
Okay.
So we'll see that, and eventually you'll see flights directly into Europe as well, as the amount of traffic builds through this airport.
Wonderful.
So I know the complex here, and even across the street, there's hotels, there's little shopping centers. I mean, there's some great areas for people, even if they got an extra couple hours or whatever in between flights, or if they're staying overnight. But there's a couple of other really cool things that you guys have. You got flight schools here, and then there's a company called KF Aerospace, I think.
Yes.
They do something specific. You want to tell our viewers about what they do?
Yeah, I mean, KF Aerospace is a very, very unique company. It's been here since the early 70s.
Wow.
Pioneer in aviation. They can do anything from A to Z on an aircraft. And so we have airplanes from all over the world that transit here and get the what we call the heavy maintenance done on the aircraft. And KF is the largest private employer in the city of Kelowna.
And they take care of something specific, if you want to tell us at least the one main thing that they're popular for. I heard from someone, because there's a lot of Icelandic air planes here, and I've taken it actually to Iceland a couple times, and I was blown away seeing the planes there. I'm like, wait up, Kelowna doesn't fly to Iceland from here. So something about the tips on the wings that they repair?
Well, they do A to Z on the airplane. So they do a full maintenance package on the aircraft, corrosion checks, what's called Class C and D checks. But they also add...
Or specialize in something?
Well, they add wings and winglets on the airplane.
Oh, wow.
And those are on the older 757 airplanes, which rejuvenates the aircraft and allows it a longer lifespan.
Really cool.
Now, obviously, we've talked a little bit about some planes that maybe go to Cuba, some planes that could potentially go to Europe down the line, and now obviously the Iceland jets. What is the largest plane that's actually come out of here, landed and flown out of Kelowna International?
Well, we look at 2009, we had the Antonov. And Antonov is one of the largest aircraft in the world. And it came out of Kazakhstan, Russia.
Wasn't that the plane that was in the movie 2012 or something like that? They called it the Antonov. I know.
Antonov.
Sorry.
It might have been.
I think they did. Yeah, this Russian billionaire guy, when it was like the end of the world kind of a thing, and he flew his Antonov. Oh yeah.
Well, this aircraft had troop-carrying helicopters inside it that were built in Russia, and it came to KF Aerospace, and the resilience of this company is they had what's called a glass cockpit. So they modernized or put in a brand new cockpit into the airplane. State of the art, and then those helicopters flew out of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is some of the most popular destinations that you see a lot of visitors outside of Canada?
Well, I mean, we don't have a lot of direct flights outside of Canada. I mean, you've got our flights into the U.S. And through Canada, but with the popularity of ski, I mean, it's no surprise that a lot of our traffic originates out of Australia, connecting through Vancouver directly to Kelowna, and of course out of Europe as well. Typically, Europe are popular destinations through Toronto, Calgary, Vancouver into Kelowna. So,
And a lot of direct flights to Vegas. I know a lot of people like going to Vegas.
Vegas, when we were running at full bore, yes, Vegas is very, very pretty. Very, very popular place for people to go to.
No, and another thing that I love to talk about, especially when it comes to airports, is like obviously positive economic impact. So, on average, how many people do you employ at the Kelowna International
the
Airport?
direct employment is about 1,600 people, and again, I'm calling pre-COVID at the time, but certainly the airport as a whole is a huge economic engine for the Okanagan, the Thompson Okanagan. And when you look at tourism is a huge part of that economy.
100%, and that's the thing, is like directly you support obviously 1,600 jobs, but indirectly we're talking, I mean, through tourism, through the wine tours, through obviously the mountains that you were talking about, skiing and everything, even things like taxis and potentially Uber coming soon now also. So many industries are indirectly affected by the Kelowna International Airport.
Yeah, we look at the size of our population of about 130,000 people, and you look at communities across the country, and you look at things like places like Quebec City, you look at St. John's, Saskatoon, Regina, all much bigger centers than us, and we outpace them in terms of the amount of traffic that comes through this airport. So certainly for a community of our size, we support well above our weight as it relates to the traffic that comes through here.
No, it's another thing to be obviously like extremely proud of, to be in the Okanagan and have that around. It's wonderful to hear stories like that.
And because of the wine region that now is becoming very popular internationally, I think we recently just beat out more visitors than Napa Valley. I think we're up there with France right now. So I know the Okanagan is just going to get busier and busier and busier in the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be a big destination. I mean, it already is for people that know what the Okanagan is, but the word's getting out real quick.
It is. It continues to grow, and I've been here for 28 years. So I've seen this airport as a very small little airport to grow to really a mid-sized airport in the country and really become the 10th busiest in Canada.
No, and another thing to obviously applaud and congratulate is the role that you've played. I mean, in 28 years, I can imagine the things that you've overseen and the contribution that you've made to get it to where it is now.
Yeah, and I mean, we have some recovery. This COVID-19 piece is going to be a very, very difficult road to recovery, and we estimate anywhere between 4 to 5 years to get back to our 2019 levels. So it's going to be a difficult road, but we're here. We're up for the challenge, and we're here certainly to support the broader community in getting back on its feet.
Good to hear. And I'm sure I speak for the community as well, that we're here to support as well, because this is a jewel and something we definitely love to see in the community and the Okanagan as a whole, not just Kelowna, Vernon, wherever it is.
Right.
Now, one other question I have, if you have time for one last question,
Sure.
Going to be a little bit of a wackier one, a little bit more fun for the viewers and everything. What is the strangest thing you guys have pulled out of baggage here in the Kelowna International Airport, if you can say?
Well, the probably the analogy I can best give you is, we have very sophisticated X-ray systems that go through that check baggage outbound, for example, and they're as sophisticated as any CAT scans you'll see at the hospitals. So we can dice and cut the bag and all those kinds of things visually, not in physical. But with those, when you see that, sometimes you have threats. And one of the things that we saw in a piece of bag was some wires, some lights, and those things become of concern for our screeners. So we had to eventually open up this bag, and we found out that it wasn't what we thought it was suspicious about, but it was a sign, electronic sign, for the front entrance of a house. So one of those electronic signs, but the way it was wired, the badge system, and all those things made it look a lot more suspicious than what it actually became. So there's lots of stories like that, but those are some of the things that we deal with.
Quite a moment of relief, I can imagine, when you open that up and it's not what you think it is.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sam, for bringing us here. Thank you for giving us an all-access pass. We're going to go down there and get some footage for our viewers who've never been on a tarmac. And again, You should be very proud of where you've helped take this airport, and every major center, especially a big tourist area, needs a hub, and this has become the big hub for it.
Thank you for your interest.
Thank
Great
you.
having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Hey guys, smash a like.
And make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on post notifications to hear about everything we are doing.
David! Woo-hoo-hoo! That was an awesome episode. Did you have fun?
Yeah, man, that was a good one. Very exciting and really cool to hear the history of the airport and you know, everything that they've been going through COVID and everything. We often forget what industries have been impacted the heaviest, and I mean, airports and airliners are definitely feeling the brunt of it more than everybody else.
And like I was telling Sam, this is a hub for all the people around the world that love the Okanagan. So we want to let you know that they're open, but check their website out and you'll get information on what you got to do before you get down here. And thank you to Sam and the entire staff of YLW. We appreciate your time.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram.